And welcome to the Cricket Carnival right here on NewsX. I'm Sanjeev Mukherjee and my brother-in-arms, the comrade-in-chief, Shishir Hatangadi, looking bright, dapper and very, very happy that his team, the Rising Pune Supergiants, has won over another of his teams, Mumbai Indians. Shishir, what an anti-climax perhaps for all the Mumbai Indians fans.
Yeah, disappointing, Sanjeev. At home, the sea of blue all gone waste, and of course Pune showing them why they are a thoughtful, intuitive side, and that was something that helped them win yesterday. It was something that required a lot of brains and thinking, and on-the-spot decision-making that made Mumbai succumb to the minds of the Pune boys, and right. I think they deserve the win, and rightfully 3-0 to Pune. Hasn't been often in first-class cricket, but this has been a special win.
Right, absolutely, and it'll be the Pune way means the Mahi way. It had to come, and this is what we had also discussed. We'll come to that in just a bit. Let's take you through the game, the highlights of the game. The Rising Pune Supergiants were batting first, and they put up 162 for the loss of just 4 wickets. Batting first, Ajinkya Rrahane with a solid 56 right there at the top. Manoj Tiwary with a terrific knock of 58. With 4 boundaries and 2 sixes, but the man of the moment in a certain sense, the man who literally took the game away from Mumbai Indians, the one and only Mahendra Singh Dhoni, 40 of just 26 balls, not a single boundary, but 5 massive hits, clearing the ropes effortlessly, simply in the way Mahendra Singh Dhoni is always known to do that. And that's the way Dhoni played, literally taking the game away from Mumbai Indians bowlers in the last 2 overs. In reply, Mumbai Indians could make only 142 for 9. They're batting falling like a pack of cards, and thus they will get their second chance when they meet the winner of tonight's game in Bangalore a couple of days later. Let's now listen in to Manoj Tiwary.
Until the 18th, 19th and 20th, where MS Bhai played outstanding shots, and it was not easy against Bumrah, but he showed why he's such a highly talented player, and with so much of ability to hit best bowlers in the IPL so far for more than 2-3 sixes in those crucial situations, which turned out to be a very good total.
Right. I believe Ritinder Singh Sodhi is also joining us. Let me bring in, let's have all our 3 guests in the window. Shishir Hatangadi and of course Ritinder Sodhi is joining me. Ritinder looks bright and dapper, Shishir, and he's wearing a colour remarkably similar to the Chennai Super Kings. Ritinder, it's a blast from the past, literally, the way MS Dhoni smashed the Mumbai bowlers last evening.
Yeah, we have to give credit to MS Dhoni. He has been a champion, and there were a lot of criticism about him regarding his performance, and what he did yesterday, that will put tape on lots of mouths which were talking against MS Dhoni. And I'm sure this team Pune is the team to be noted in the notebooks, because at one point they were struggling. They were right at the bottom of the table, and their rise has been meteoric. And I'm sure MS Dhoni has been the key, and he will be the key again in the final.
He'll surely be the key in the final, and Pune maintaining their winning streak. Let's now, tell our viewers, or rather show our viewers, if you in fact look in their winning streak. Let's now, tell our viewers, or rather show our viewers, if you in fact look across television channels, and this is something Ritinder will agree along with Shishir. Look at television channels last evening, or even newspapers. Nobody was literally playing up the Dhoni factor as per se this particular game which played last night. So here is evidence. We are going to present to you the evidence of the show last evening here on NewsX. This is what we discussed ahead of Dhoni's blitzkrieg. Let's show it. By Dhoni's standards, one would say he's had a lackluster IPL. If you look at Dhoni in the past and the IPL, and Dhoni in this IPL hasn't really set the stage on fire. He's played 5 innings, 154 runs, an average of over 50, and a phenomenal strike rate of 163.82, and he's played 17 playoffs. Shishir, if you can hear me clearly, Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be itching to get one back at his own place in a certain sense. Wankhede literally owned it. We all remember that 6 he hit and the way he twirled his bat.
Yes, Sanjeev, I mean, I've been observant to a few great players in my time, only observant. I reiterate, only observant. But one quality that great players have is, on the big day they seem to get up on the right side of the bed, and there's something going in them to go out there and showcase whatever special skills they have, and Dhoni is no different.
Right, so we just saw, Shishir, good of you to bring this particular point up. In fact, Ritinder, Shishir called me just a couple of hours before the show. If we can also have Ritinder on screen, please. I'm just trying to tell him the fact that Shishir called me a couple of hours before the show, since he was not here. He was in Bombay for a day. And he said that why don't we look at Dhoni's magical performance in playoffs and find the numbers. So I was a little short of time ahead of the show. I was saying, what is he saying? And then when I got the numbers, I saw, wow, this is great. Let's talk it up. He did. We did listen to Shishir, and we got what we would have all wanted to see, Dhoni in such glorious form. Shishir?
Great players, Sanjeev, play the big moments better than the good players. And that is the long and short. The synopsis of what I'm saying is that never undermine great players on big days, because what they come up with, or the way they get up, the way they think, the way they plan their game is slightly different from the good players. And that is why, yesterday nobody talked about Ben Stokes' unavailability. And, this is where I think the strategic mind of Dhoni as a commander, or a support to Steve Smith, and of course his 5 sixes, no boundaries, tells you that his thinking was slightly different from the other players. I think Mumbai Indians scored 20 runs extra in this game. They could have curtailed those 20 runs. So it would have been a more emphatic win. But the fact is that they pretty much steamrolled. David superseded or conquered Goliath in this game. And that is what we saw yesterday. Dhoni has a lot to do with it.
Right, and Ritinder, one quick word before we move on to the game on hand tonight. There have been pretty, I would say, sarcastic comments, and this is what IPL is all about. It's not just cricket, but also entertainment, tamasha, and the controversy. Cricketainment, as a lot of people would like to hear it that way. We've seen the owners, or rather somebody who's related to the owner, may put out some pretty acerbic comments about Dhoni when he's not really got going with the bat. But yesterday we saw the same gentleman were literally up in the stands shouting wildly when Dhoni was clearing the ropes one after the other, one after the other.
Lots of hard work, day in, day out. And if we go back, 2 months back, everybody was criticizing MS Dhoni. There were lots of comments on Twitter by the team owners themselves. But MS Dhoni was focused. He was fit to the core. He lost weight. He was working hard. He was with his team, Jharkhand, in the Ranji Trophy, spending days with them. So that shows that he was very hungry to succeed. He has that insatiable appetite to get success. And I'm sure that with yesterday's knock, he has done his bit, and still long way to go. And I'm sure that Dhoni still has many years of cricket left in him.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we've been waiting to hear for, not only from the experts, but also from the man himself. But it's good that he, most of the times, more often than not, he keeps quiet. Although Shishir did have the chance of meeting Dhoni up close and personal very recently.
So Sanjeev, if I may interrupt, as they say, success has many fathers. Even if the father is a team owner or related to the team owner, it really doesn't matter, because I think great players know what they're capable of.
Right. I was waiting, literally waiting for you to say that. Let's move on to the next game. What's the next game? What do we have on show tonight? But before that, the player of the day. Well, the decision has been a split one. Half of the sports desk said it would be Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Half of the sports desk said it would be Washington Sundar. So we decided to go for a split decision. So for us here on the sports desk in NewsX, the player of the day would not only be Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but also Washington Sundar. What a performance there. And what a player he's proved himself to be in this particular IPL. You can see his figures coming up on your screens in just a bit. Yes, 3 for 16 of 4 overs, an economy rate of 4. Literally made sure that the Mumbai batsman had to reach out for his deliveries. Forget about reaching the fence or even getting the runs when they needed it the most. All right, it's time now to head to the Bengaluru. The Sunrisers Hyderabad versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. It's time for the game. The news just coming in is that, of course, as expected, Yuvraj Singh, Kane Williamson, Chris Jordan and Vipul are in for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, which means that they might not be Enriquez and Nabi, and Siraj has also made way for Vipul. So I hope they'll have some issues as far as sorting their bowling out. Bowling is concerned. Also, Kolkata have won the toss and they will bowl first. Let's now look at a quick montage of the two teams before we come back and discuss the game. Right, so the news also coming from the Kolkata camp is that Kolkata brought in Surya Kumar Yadav, Nathan Coulter-Nile, Piyush Chawla and Ishank Jaggi. Manish Pandey, of course, is injured. Kuldeep is sitting out. More team news perhaps as we progress. Kolkata versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Of course, two formidable batting units whose bowling departments have also done well. But what we're going to see first is that since Knight Riders have won the toss and elected the field, so Hyderabad is going to go and bat there. Now, Shishir, right at the top, if there is a stat, I'll request my producer, if he is still alive and awake and listening to our discussion, to put this up immediately. You know, the top two, if you look at the top two, the comparison, there's not much to, not much of difference as far as the top three clicking is concerned, because for Sunrisers Hyderabad, the top three batsmen have scored at an average of 45.06. There we are on the screens. While for KKR is 36.83. These are the top averages for the teams, for all the teams, for the top three batsmen. It is a battle of big bats in a certain way, more often than not.
Absolutely, but the fact is, after the power play, there is a Warner who goes on to get a reasonably big score. And that has been probably one of the reasons for the Sunrisers Hyderabad being successful in this tournament. Of course, they've got a good support bowling attack that can help them. But you know, this is a very crucial game for two reasons. You know, that the opening batsmen are going to be crucial. And of course, look, Kane Williamson is back. He's another quality great player. I mean, a great player in the making. But these guys play big moments well. And I said to you at the start of the program, it'll help Hyderabad if they bat first, because they'll be playing this innings without any inhibitions and go out there and just try and put runs on the board. Chasing in a do-or-die situation is always more pressure.
Right. In a certain sense, let's bring up a certain other more numbers for both Shishir and Ritinder. If I could call it a reverse arithmetic progression. It's not progression, it's reverse arithmetic. We spoke about the top three. Now look at the top two. Let's stack up those numbers. David Warner and Shikhar Dhawan have scored more than 50%. 50%. That's an incredible stat. 50% of the numbers. You'll just have the graphic on your screens in just a bit. 50% of the total numbers runs scored by Sunrisers Hyderabad. This is not the first year. Last year, also they had scored 53% of the total runs for Sunrisers Hyderabad. We all know who won the IPL last year. There we go. 2017, 50% of the runs already scored. In 2016, they scored 53%. Now, out of the top three, if one of these two, or maybe if KKR snare both of them early, we'll have Sunrisers will have it with their backs to the wall.
And they'll feel buoyant about that. But to get these two out, you will have to bowl well, especially in the first 6 overs. Yes, there will be chances created. They'll take initiatives. Both these players are and they'll feel buoyant about that. But to get these two out, you will have to bowl well, especially in the first 6 overs. Yes, there will be chances created. They'll take initiatives. Both these players are very positive and very intuitive players. They don't plan too much in the mind. They just go about the first 6 overs as if it's, 36 balls that they want to maximize the advantage for the team. But the fact is that if they don't get snare these two players out, then obviously it'll be advantage, because batting first in these do-or-die games is always an advantage. Yesterday we saw that Mumbai, they floundered because all the big hits in the league stages didn't matter, because it's a now or never situation, and that's when, pressure gets to you.
Right, a lot of people would, Ritinder, I'm sure you would agree, a lot of people would have expected to see perhaps KKR bat early instead of chasing and get them to face Bhubaneswar and Rashid. No hopes of that, we'll have to wait for that. But Warner and of course Shikhar Dhawan, and they have been backed up by pretty good reserves. You can call it a Williamson. They have the sort of teeth in their batting also to put a good formidable score on the board.
Look, Sanjeev, one thing we have to really realize here is that yesterday when Mumbai took on Pune, Mumbai were hot favourites. But in today's game, I'm sure that it's very difficult to pick who's the favourite because KKR has all the arsenal and batting power is with Hyderabad. And all said and done, if we talk about who has the nose ahead, I would say Hyderabad, but very slightly because of Warner and Shikhar Dhawan. And with the strike rate they have been scoring, if they get going, they can really take the game away from the opponents. So that is a very crucial factor, and that is where KKR will be eyeing. If they can see the back of Warner or Shikhar Dhawan early, I'm sure we have a game at hand.
We have a game on hand, and also the fact that Yuvraj Singh is back, so he'll also be eating. Like yesterday we spoke about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. These are big game players and they have the temperament for these big games. I'm not saying Yuvraj will go on to launch a calculated assault, but who knows, because he is like these sort of games and situations are tailor-made for somebody like UV.
Very, very familiar surroundings, when these players enter.
And the surround sound is also familiar. It's Bangalore, don't forget.
Yeah, absolutely. And and more importantly, when you've done it and been there and done it time and time again in those big moments, it's always comfortable to know that you have a Yuvraj in case you lose a wicket or two. But the fact is, like Ritinder said, I believe that Warner and Shikhar are going to be so crucial. And of course, then when you have Rashid Khan and when you have Bhuvaneshwar, who are in their pomp in this IPL, you're creating those extra 8 overs where you have to say, I may not be able to get maximum out of the 8. So what are you doing? You're playing a 12-over game.
You're playing a 12-over game, and you'll have to see. We are yet to talk about KKR's opening act. I will come to that in just a bit. But Ritinder, Chris Jordan didn't play a single league game. Now suddenly he's picked for this very crucial game. It's not crucial. It's a do-or-die game. If you lose, you're out of the IPL. Ahead of Nabi, who was carrying an injury. What do you make of this decision?
Look, it really depends on the team formation. I'm sure the captain must have thought that Chris Jordan will really set in the combination, and he's a very good player. We have seen him really go on assault at times, and today is an important game, and I'm sure that if he comes good, he can be as dangerous as anybody, like Pollard, we talk about Mumbai Indians, like Warner for Hyderabad. So I'm sure he will play a very, very crucial role.
Shishir?
I think they've sacrificed the utility of Moses Henry by getting a pedigreed batsman in Williamson and obviously empowered a bowler to do his job of getting in 4 overs.
Right.
Because a game like this, you cannot go out into the park without a Williamson.
Right. And now which brings me to one of Shishir's another favorite team, which is the Kolkata Knight Riders. The Knight Riders, of course, they'll be doing all the chasing, but it's been even Steven as far as these two teams are concerned. Knight Riders defended 170 odd. The Eden, David Warner responded with a 59-ball blitzkrieg of a knock in Hyderabad. But you look at this, both teams go into this game with some sort of a slump. In the last 4 games respectively, they've played each. Together, they won only 3 games. They are not in the best of form. Number 2, if you look at KKR's opening, what do you make of it? Sunil Narine and Chris Lynn.
Well, crucial is, whatever Narayan gets you is a bonus. It's like, getting that extra bonus. From
and that's a big bonus he's been getting.
But, it's bound to click sometimes and bound to fail sometimes. It's like getting a payment from an unexpected source, and that is something that you would like.
As you speak, those are Narayan's numbers. 120 balls he's played, 214 runs. But here, Shishir, we've figured out a certain weakness. So I'm waiting for that stat to come up. Sunil Narayan versus short pitch bowling. Now, when those numbers will come up, you see out of those 120 balls, he's been faced with only 18 short pitch deliveries. He scored only 18 and 4 times he's got out. On the other hand, let's bring up Chris Lynn. Now, Chris Lynn has been having a pretty good time against the short pitch sub. He's scored nearly 80 of 28 short pitch balls. However, against spin, he scores only 107 of 68, slightly slower. So do you think, looking at not a SWOT analysis, but looking at the positives and the negatives of both these two, do you think a pace spin combo right at the start will perhaps help Hyderabad win if Chris Lynn and Sunil Narine do.
I'm very happy you put that stat up. It just tells us why Jordan is in the team now. You know, because you have to realize that Kolkata they're doing a Ambati Raidu with Yadav now. You know, Yadav hasn't played most of the tournament. He's been brought back because through default, not design, because Manish Pandey is unfit. Now, whether he can deliver on the occasion is a question mark. Also, the fact that you expect the lower order, the finishers of KKR, to contribute more. If they've been found wanting in one department, it's their ability or inability, if I may say so, to finish games and finish games in slog overs.
Right.
And that's where they've struggled. So it's all on Lynn. Most of it is on Lynn. He capitalizes on the power play superbly and, you know, with great efficiency. Will he be able to carry it forward and make sure he can win matches for his team, or this match?
Right.
There are no more matches left.
Impressive numbers and impressive talk about it by Shishir. Let's put another impressive number. Now this will, if we get this number to change, and Ritinder, I know you won't be able to see it, but let's see if you can hear me clearly. These will be the numbers as far as Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Rashid Khan are concerned. I can see only Rashid's picture there. Maybe you were not able to merge the two pictures. Now, both of them, Ritinder, they've taken 42 wickets. But, interestingly, the percentage of their team wickets is close to 42% of the team wickets have been taken by Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Rashid Khan. That's a lethal combo. And interestingly, Ritinder, I'll come to you in just a bit. A fast bowler and a leg spinner reminds us of Shane Warne and Glenn McGrath, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is the beauty of the game, and that is the beauty of this team, Hyderabad, because the way Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been firing, if you wake him up at 2 o'clock in the morning from his sleep and tell him to bowl a Yorker, he will do that perfectly. He's in that pomp form. And Rashid Khan, he has been the find of the tournament. Nobody thought somebody from Afghanistan will come and rule IPL. And today their role is going to be very crucial. And if they fire today, it's going to be very, very difficult for KKR.
It will be very, very difficult for KKR. Now, Shishir, let me bring another one for you. Let me bring another one for you. Now you're seeing it's not just...
Bring it on. Yeah.
The numbers are here. All right, let's remove this graphic. If my producer can hear me, let's remove this graphic and let's now see the scoring chart for KKR. How well KKR scores, or rather, where are their batsmen effective? No, let's change the graphic, please. Now, the Kolkata Knight Riders, they score the most number of runs in the power play. They average close to 60. There you see, although it's Gambhir, but more or less a power play, who has been dominating. They average close to 60 in the power play. That's the highest as far as this particular IPL is concerned. Now let's look at the middle. They are the fastest in the middle over scoring, Shishir. They've scored over 1,000 runs at a clip of nearly 8.5 runs per over. That's incredible. But this is where we find fading at the death. They have scored 427 runs at just a shade under 8.5 per over in the last 4 overs, which could be the Achilles heel as far as KKR is concerned.
This is what I said, that their slog overs and their death batting has been below par. And for them to be able to capitalize on the death, they need power hitters. They need guys like Lynn to be staying there. 20 overs is 120 balls. And, if you notice yesterday, the crucial bit was Parthiv Patel, though he played quite a good innings. They allowed him to carry on to a point where, that run rate was getting up, and he's not capable of clearing the field once you get into the middle overs and towards the end. And to have him there was a bonus for Pune. KKR are similarly placed. They haven't had big finishers.
Right.
And that is something, once that run rate creeps up to 10,
right,
boy, if you don't have a Lynn, you don't have a Finn.
If you don't, if you don't have a Lynn, if you don't have a Finn. Ritinder Sodhi, we gradually...
If you don't have a Lynn, you don't have a Finn.
If you don't, if you don't have a Lynn, if you don't have a Finn. Ritinder Sodhi, we're gradually running out of time, but let's have some more fun. Let's put both of you guys on the spot. I know Sunil Narine and Chris Lynn, in spite of the graphics, in spite of the numbers I have been showing, they have done the job for KKR at the top. But is it time perhaps for, tonight at least, for Gautam Gambhir to come and open? Ritinder.
Yeah, Gautam Gambhir, he has to fire because it's a very important game. But Sanjeev, one important factor is that don't rule out Sunil Narine. He has been a champion player. Lots of people are talking that he might open up a batting academy now, the way he has been batting. And I'm sure if he gets going today, Hyderabad can have a tough time. And he has to tackle Bhuvneshwar Kumar. If he sees him through, we can have a big night today.
Right. Well, Ritender, both you and Shishir will agree with me that, you know, considering the number of cricket academies which have mushroomed here in Delhi NCR, I wouldn't be surprised if Sunil Narine opens an academy trying to tell people how to bat as a bowler, how to add a skill, go out there in the middle, you know, bang in the middle of a T20 game and open and get those big hits. But Shishir, who would you keep ahead tonight?
For the simple reason, I believe that Sunrisers batting first is a big
Is
big
because your
advantage.
old team? Is it because of your old team?
Not really, but you know, because we've got common friends. We've got Tom Moody, and you know they're sharp guys. There's Tommy is a sharp.
You know, in
coach.
Bengali, you know, Ritinder, you know, Shishir's connect with a multiple number of teams, and that's what the IPL does to most of us, doesn't it? But
You haven't heard my answer.
No, I'm not. That's the reason I've interrupted. Ritinder, Shishir, born and brought up in Kolkata. He loves Kolkata. He loves the Bengali. He loves March Bhat. He loves Mumbai. He played for Mumbai, captained Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy. He's a legend himself. He lives in Gujarat. He loves the Gujarat Lions. He also has this thing for the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Hyderabadi biryani. So in the words of the famous bard Rabindranath Tagore, you remember this particular line? Jodi puraton prem dhaka pore jaye nabo premo jale tobu mone rekho. You found your new love, don't forget the old love.
No. To answer your question, Sanjeev, I mean, yes, you know,
Again,
they'll have to lock up Warner, Shikhar,
Yeah.
Bhuvaneshwar, and Rashid
Uh-huh.
to be able to lock up. Meaning they'll have to get the better of them in the context of cricket,
Right.
And that's a challenge that Kolkata have. If they do that, maybe
10
we'll be
seconds.
having Mishti Doi tonight.
10 seconds before I wrap this up. Final word to you, Ritinder. Is it Sunrisers, Hyderabad or Kolkata for you tonight?
I will go with KKR. Chak de fatte KKR.
Chak de fate KKR. That's the spirit. Good to have both of you guys on the show. Ritinder Sodhi, Shishir Hatangadi, thank you very much for joining us and making this another entertaining, delightful and insightful show. This is the Cricket Carnival. Stay right here. The news will be back right after a short break.